Hi, everyone, and welcome to the latest installment of the Concept3D Spring 2023 webinar series. Thanks for making us part of your day. Today's subject, as you can see here, is how to refresh your map. And that's right. Today, we're going to be talking about doing a little spring cleaning. And we're going to talk about the ways that you can refresh or update your map, what to expect next, how to choose on what to focus on first, how to change front-end styles, plus more. These webinars are being recorded and uploaded to YouTube following this broadcast, which are then added to the Concept3D Help Center, where you can view them all in one convenient location. Look for that to be updated a little later this afternoon once I process this recording. Feel free to share these videos with members of your team that might not have been able to make it today, or with new members of your interactive map team as they join. Now, I'm going to try and make sure we have time for questions at the end. However, please feel free to add some in the Q&A field as we go so that I may possibly answer them live. Also, this presentation is geared more towards a general audience. So if you have questions about your specific interactive map, please feel free to reach out to your client success manager. And if you're not sure who that is, you can email us at support@concept3d.com. Now, a brief introduction here is my name is Andy Marshall, and I've been with Localist since May of 2021, which was acquired by Concept3D this past January. Since then, I've been working as the customer education lead on behalf of our client success team here, working on our help site documentation and preparing presentations such as the one we'll see today to help bring our customers up to speed on our products. So here's a quick look at the overall agenda today with the bullet points of what we'll be talking about. First, we'll discuss how to add map updates to your CMS. Next, we'll see how you can audit your list of users and their access level. We'll talk about how you can review the existing content on your map as far as locations and categories. And lastly, we'll chat about how to change the look and feel of your map, as well as to consider where it lives on your website today. Now, I have this agenda here, but we're going to follow a little bit different of a format because today I have for you some map cleanup fast facts. And I mentioned this as the first fast fact here is, as you can see, you can toggle your map renderings on and off to compare what's new against the base map tiles. Now, this is an ability that only us here at Concept3D had until recently, which we've now activated for our clients in their CMS. Here in this example, we have map renderings on the left, and at the bottom of this new locations menu, you'll see a checkbox labeled turn off renderings. If you simply check that box, you can hide your renderings across the map to compare with what you see on the base map tiles. You'll still see all your locations and categories, but no 3D images. I'm going to show this in action a little later during my presentation. Now, I mentioned this one first because the first topic I wanted to discuss was making map updates in your CMS. In your map's CMS list of locations, you'll find a map edits category that you can save a new subcategory to. Or if you don't see the map edits category, simply create a new category labeled map edits to continue. You should use the format of map updates followed by the year in your category or subcategory to organize what's changed over time. Once that subcategory is created, you can create locations for those updates and add them to that category. You can then save your changes and publish them. Once you've completed all your updates, contact your client success manager to get a quote. As far as the kind of information that's required for new buildings and structures or changes to existing buildings, we'll need a site plan showing the building space, landscaping, sidewalks, and surrounding areas, as you see here in this site plan example above. If it's available, however, and you see the Revit sketch example here, if a Revit or SketchUp file using the upload data link can be provided directly in the CMS. When it comes to map time update timelines, once you've signed the work order, we advise 10 to 15 days. However, that can be expedited for an additional cost if the changes are urgent. For new building labels, any spelling errors, update building labels, road label changes, or road spelling errors, we'll simply need to know the correct spelling and then correct location if that location is moving. And lastly, before I move on, when it comes to the artwork on your platform, it must be completed by a member of the C3D production team as a singular statement of work. Just like when you go to the mechanic, you get a work order, they tell you what they're going to do before they begin any work on your car. Same thing here with the map. We'll make sure that you're aware of what we're doing prior to making any changes. All right, so we're going to fly right into our next map fast fact here. And As you can see, you can check your users and roles once a year uh, so that you can see who has access or add new users as well. Now, in your CMS, you're going to see this account button link in the upper right corner of the screen, which is going to open a new browser tab and show you a list of blue menu options. You'll select users from that list, and here you'll be shown a full list of all the users allowed in the CMS, and their role, any maps that they're assigned to if you're managing multiple maps, some options to edit the user, require a password change upon next login, option to delete the user, or simply disable their account. Another map fast fact for you, number 3, is that you can export your data for a spreadsheet view of all your map's content. Now, we're aware some people work differently and want to see their map content at a glance in a list and not dig through the locations menu in the CMS all the time. On your CMS's homepage, if you click the Data Export tab, a new browser tab will open a spreadsheet view of all your map's content at a glance. You'll be able to see things like date added, date changed, name, description, any keywords that are added, and things like who edited it last, the visibility and privacy options, the latitude and longitude coordinates, and most importantly, view and edit. Now, this view button here will just take you to that location in the front end CMS. However, if you click this edit button, that's going to take you to the edit menu for that location in your CMS that you can edit it directly from that list. Every listed location on this list has an edit button, and you can jump right into the CMS and edit it directly from there. You can also download a CSV of this information to share externally with other stakeholders by clicking this Export Data button that's going to be in the upper left corner of the page. And I'm going to show examples of where these both live in my next presentation as well. We have another fast fact for you. I told you they're fast, as this one is surrounding Google Analytics and how it can help you zero in on the most important items to promote or nurture across your map. So since Concept3D tracks all of the events taking place across the map, the reporting in Google Analytics is going to let you know exactly what your most used or unused locations, categories, or searches are. You'll need to set up a property view for the Concept3D map at analytics.google.com, which we have a very handy help article, complete with diagrams and step-by-step instructions on how to complete live in our help center right now. This way, you can double check what you're spending time on across the map for efficiency's sake. Again, a quick plug for the help center that I maintain. We have a great article on Google Analytics and setting up GA4 with Concept3D. You can see items such as which marker is being opened the most, which location is getting the most wayfinding requests, or commonly searched phrases, or more. One call out here is that, as you can see in this example, the 8th most interacted event across this map is the search interaction. But if I drill down into it, I can see specifically what's being searched. This way I can evaluate if those items are being supported enough via additional media or information in those locations. I like this example here, as this appears the site visitors are rather hungry, with Panera being the 2nd most searched item. Must be time for lunch. While I am here, and not to date this presentation, but in case you were not aware, Google Universal Analytics will be sunset globally on July 1 of 2023. If you visit analytics.google.com between now and then, you will see the exact message here with the emphasis mine, along with a big countdown clock as to when the official change is taking place. Fortunately, setting up Google Analytics 4 in Concept3D is extremely simple, as you'll just take the new GA4 tracking ID that they provide, click the Options tab in the CMS, and paste it in before saving your changes. That's all you'll need to do to be ready for the summertime switch for GA4, which can be finished in just a few minutes right in the CMS. I think it's time for another map fast fact, and this one's going to sound like an opinion, but I assure you that you will agree that updating front-end styles is easy. We make it very simple to find with its own tab right at the top of the CMS homepage, where you can click front-end styles. And from there, you're going to be taken to find all the options to edit the front-end map right here in this panel. You'll see WYSIWYG options for things such as colors, icons, fonts, button colors, link colors, as well as being able to customize your sidebar and add alt text for accessibility. You'll be able to include things like changing the footer appearance, editing the form styles if you're using forms with your map, as well as even things like the map's background or legend in your custom print map. And that brings me to my final map fast fact today, where reaching your map should be a 2-click minimum. And what I mean by that is, where does your map live on your website and how easy is it to find? If it's not on your homepage, is it easy to find? More than 2 clicks, and it may discourage users from continuing with the experience. Think about where else this could be included on your website. Now, the Concept3D best practice here is to embed your map on a dedicated page, where separating the map from other site content makes for the best mobile and desktop experience. With the map on its own page, it ensures that all that rich media and content will be experienced in full size and at the optimal levels that you intended. All right. Well, with that, we're going to take a quick trip into the back end and front end CMS to take a look at some of the things that I was talking about just now. And starting with your map CMS, we'll just jump into this example here of Connor University. I'll go ahead and close that. And what we'll take a look at first is we'll zoom in here a little bit on the rendering. And what I wanted to point out first is that turn off renderings. It is just as simple as we are on the map homepage on the locations tab. If I just click turn off renderings and then say turn on parking, now I'll be able to compare and contrast with what the base map tiles look like, as well as what the locations look like in regards to our current 3D model. Once you submit your requests, they will show up here in this right-hand column. If we come over here to this other example, jumping ahead a little bit. There we go. Coming over here to this other example, there we go. We'll see this map edits example here as far as a category. So we've added a location for map edits. Now when we edit, or once we create new locations here in the CMS and add them to this map edits category, our production team will know to go in here. Here we have an example of fall map updates 2020. We'll open this, and now we'll be able to know where to go in and what to focus on when we provide that work order and eventually get to work on your map updates. All right. So next, we're going to take a look at the upload data button here over to the right. And this is up here right next to your account, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But if you click upload data, a new link is going to open, which will show you our Concept3D data uploader. This is where you'd be able to provide those SketchUp or Revit files to be uploaded for if you have them on hand and are including them with your update. We head back here and we look this again. We're going to click this account button, and this is going to bring you to a new page, specifically one that I want to call attention to is this users page. And as I mentioned before, you'll be able to see all of your members or users on this map sorted alphabetically with their information as to username, name, any maps that they are managing, their roles, as well as those options to edit, require a password change, delete, or disable the accounts. And you'll see a disabled account appears as highlighted red in the account. All right, so if we come back in here to the CMS, if we go to the options tab here and scroll down, you're going to find where you can drop that Google Analytics 4 measurement ID so that things can be tracked across the platform. Again, just drop it in here, scroll back to the top and save your changes. And it's as easy as that once you have that property view set up in Google Analytics. Lastly, I wanted to mention, I did say that it was easy, and I mean it. The front end styles tab is right here. And again, all you need to do is click on that, and you will be able to see all of the options right here in this panel to be edited. So you can just scroll right through here. Everything is contained. And once you're finished, you can just save your changes right here at the top. Well, that does conclude my presentation for this afternoon. I do want to appreciate you taking some time out of your day to join us here. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at support@concept3d.com, and we'll be sure to reach out to you or make sure that your client success manager has been notified. I appreciate your time, and thanks. Have a great rest of your day.